Namaste. My name is Gayatri from the Australian School of Meditation and Yoga, and today we're going to be cooking up a vegan Spanikopita. So this one, you actually can't really tell that it's vegan. It's so tasty. It's in 3 parts. So the first part is to cook down the spinach, the garlic and onions, and then we're going to make up a nice sort of a ricotta cheese with tofu, and then we're going to put it into the phyllo pastry. So let's do it in 3 parts. This is the first part now. We're going to add a little bit of olive oil, about a tablespoon or so, just enough to saute the onion and garlic. We're just putting the onion in first, because it takes longer to cook than garlic. It saves your garlic from burning. We want to cut up the onion pretty fine, unless you like big chunks of onion. Everyone's different. We're going to add a couple of cloves of garlic. So I've got 1 onion in there and 2 cloves of garlic. You can finely chop them, you can grate them, you can press them. So you want to make sure that the onion is translucent, otherwise it's going to have quite an oniony flavour. I personally don't like the taste of raw onion in my food, so I make sure that it's fully cooked. Okay, so now we're going to add our baby spinach. I've got a 280 gram bag of baby spinach, and it's already washed and ready to eat, so it saves another step. So this cooks down a lot, so we're not going to fit it all in the saucepan at once, but just as it starts to wilt, we'll add a bit more, or you could use a very big saucepan if you like. If you had a saucepan with a lid, it's probably going to speed things up a little. Last batch. Here we are, we've got our wilted spinach, and you can see in this pan that there's not too much moisture. You don't want a lot of water in there. I like the baby spinach for that reason. It's not very watery. If you're using silver beet, you've probably got quite a bit of water in here you'd have to squeeze out. Okay, to finish off, I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. This is optional, but it does give it a nice flavour. I definitely think you should use the nutmeg. And we've got some black pepper. I am a real pepper lover, so I'm going to put quite a bit, maybe a teaspoon, 1/2 to 1 teaspoon. But if you don't like pepper, you can leave it out. It's totally optional. And then we have our spinach mixture. So I'll turn this off now and we'll start to cool this down. We're back with the second part of this dish, Spanikopita. We are going to now blend all these ingredients. So I have around about a 450 gram block of tofu. This is a firm tofu. I like the Aldi one or the macro. So we're just going to break that up a little and pop that in to the blender, or actually it's a processor. Throw that into the processor. We've got 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. We've got 1/3 cup of oil. I've used a good quality olive oil. We have got some savory yeast flakes, or some nutritional yeast. This is really yummy, and this gives it the cheesy flavor, so don't leave this one out. So we've got about a cup there. We've got a tablespoon. We've got a tablespoon of the Macel stock powder. I've used the chicken-like, but there's also beef-like and vegetable. We've got some salt. Now this is up to you. It's totally your taste. So just decide how much salt you need. If you don't like too much salt, probably leave it out because we're going to use soy sauce as well. And we've got a tablespoon of soy sauce. Of course, if you are gluten-free, you could use tamari, but we are going to put this in a phyllo pastry. However, you could do this with a gluten-free pastry. You could also use this as a filling for many things. It's just a beautiful spinach filling. So you could even just probably put the filling into little cupcake containers or cupcake trays and bake it, and that would still be nice. So we're going to blend this up now, or whiz it up. Okay, so you might have to scrape down the sides a couple of times. We want this to be quite smooth, a bit like a ricotta cheese, so ricotta is fairly smooth. That's it. We have our ricotta cheese filling now. We have our cooled spinach mixture. And we're going to add this smooth, pasty-like tofu ricotta filling to the spinach and mix it through well. You wouldn't believe that that huge packet of spinach ended up tiny, but it does cook down a lot. So there you go. There is our mixture, our filling for our Spanikopita. So I'm going to show you now how to do the phyllo pastry case. Okay, we will make the pastry case now, the phyllo pastry case. Now I am using a vegan version of phyllo pastry. Not all phyllo pastry is vegan, but Antonio is. And this is the thick style. Now I've found this one is really good for Spanikopita because it doesn't fall apart so much. But yeah, it holds together better. So for Spanikopita it is good. They reckon for baklava and things like that it's not so good because they need it lighter. But this one is, I found this one really good to work with. So I'm just going to roll that out. See, that's the size of the sheets. Move our mix away a little bit. Okay, and I've got a well-oiled, like a cheese cake pan or a spring form pan. I find that this is the easiest way to get it out without having it break up. Okay, so we will start with our first sheet. I'm just going to pop it in there. And I've got some oil here, and I've got a pastry brush. So I'm just going to oil that. Now, if you are conscious of not having too much oil in your diet, maybe you're a little weight conscious, you can use some oil spray, the olive oil spray that you can buy. That is a good option. You could also only oil every second sheet. I'm going to go for it this time. I'm going to just go for taste. So it's going to have a lot of olive oil and it's going to have a lot of pastry. So then we'll pop the pastry the other way now, press it in. The third one. Four. Five. Last one, 6. Okay, so now we are going to add our filling. Doesn't that look lovely? I'm going to fold the pastry in now. Okay, and we're just going to brush the top with some oil. And this, you can put some optional sesame seeds on top, just to finish it off. It makes it look nice and finished. Obviously I like sesame seeds. I'm going to put that into a moderate oven now for probably about half an hour to 40 minutes. We'll time it, and I'll let you know exactly how long this takes to cook. We want to cook it until it's golden brown. Okay, so I've got this out of the oven. I've let it cool down for 10 minutes or so. So now that the filling has firmed up, I'm going to cut the pie. delicious crispiness, you can hear that. And have a look at that, perfection. So there's the inside of the pie there. And there is the finished product. Tip a little bit of oil on the salad. A little bit of balsamic vinegar. And there we have an amazing dinner or lunch. I'd say this pie would serve 6 good slices, so this size.